Good morning, beautiful people of the world. Good morning. It is Thursday, September 11th, 2025. And it is the 24th year since the World Trade bombing that happened in our country. And was that 2002 that happened? I know it's been 24 years. That much I know. Wow. It don't seem like it's been that long, but it has. 24 years. Wow, wow, wow. $24 years. Amazing. But it is Throwback Thursday as well. Oh, I'm leaving out a little bit later than I normally leave out. Just rushing and overslept. This is today, March the 24th year. I heard that on the news. And they were showing this young lady, African American lady, who they said that they never talked about her. But anyway, she was just covered in soot from the building. But she died a couple of years ago of cancer. And they believe that that's because of all of that. The dust and the soot and everything. That's why she passed. But it was a horrific time. I don't know where you all were, or if some of you all were even born when it happened. Meadow, you probably were not. You were not born when it happened. But I know you know about it. It was just crazy time. I was working here at the University of Chicago as a secretary, and I think I've told this story before. My mother had gotten sick the Sunday before it happened. We went to a graduation party of one of our good friends' granddaughter, and on the way back, on the expressway, I hit a medium or something, and the car kind of spent on the expressway. Thank God there was no cars coming. And I hit that. And my mother at the graduation party, had said that she wasn't feeling good. My mother was a lot heavier than she is now. She wasn't fat, but she was going through menopause at that time, the menopause weight. And so she was talking about she wasn't feeling good. That she was like, I'm so hot. I just feel so hot. So anyway, I had went and got her some Kool-Aid or some punch or something like that. And she was sitting there drinking the punch or whatever. And she didn't eat that much because she was talking about, she wasn't feeling that great. So by the time that happened on the expressway and we got home, she was upstairs in her bedroom and she was in a lot of pain. She was starting to be in pain. So I went upstairs because she had made me mad, and my sister, and I think it was my niece and nephew. They were born. They were little. And she had pissed me off. And my niece and nephew my sister pissed me off because they act like, no, because I hit that thing on the expressway. But once again, I was doing all the driving. And so they kind of, made some kind of remarks or whatever. And I'm like, I had drove all the way over into the west side. I had drove back, and you all complaining, acting like I did this on purpose. So I was really pissed with both of them. So I went talking to my mama when my sister was dating this guy named Calvin. And so I just went down. My mama went upstairs. I went downstairs. And I wasn't talking to neither one of them. And I was pissed with both of them. And my sister went home. I dropped my sister off at home because I was on my way to my sister's house to drop her and her kids off. And that's when I hit that little thing. So my mother wanted to argue about that. I said, look, you sitting back, you ain't driving. Cherie sitting back, she ain't driving. And just like now, I do all the driving. And I said, and always have did all the driving. When we all go somewhere, I never get the chance to just sit back. They always want me to drive. So I felt like, don't complain about what I did or how I'm driving, and y'all sitting back being the passengers, and y'all never offer to drive. So I was mad. So I went downstairs, she went upstairs. So I was living at home then. And I was just like, pissed. So I ended up going upstairs to get something. I don't remember what I went up there to get. I went upstairs to get something. Either she called me or she was calling me and asked me to come upstairs. And I was really pissed off, So I went up there and I was like, what? Or something like that. However way I answered her, it wasn't pleasant. I was just like, what? And so, I went in my bedroom. What the hell fell? I went in my bedroom. And when I walked past her, because I had to walk past their room, my parents' room, to go into my bedroom. And that's why I was pissed off, because Cherie was like, you trying to kill us, you trying to kill me and my kids, and blah 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 blah, all this so stupid shit. So I went in the bedroom and my mother called me, and I said, so I came out of the bedroom and I was like, what? And she's like, come here. And so I went in her room and I just was like, hey, just look. And I looked at her. My mother and I are the same complexion. She might be a little bit lighter than me. She was beet red, like an apple. And I did like that. I said, what's wrong with you? She's like, oh, my stomach hurt me so bad. And I'm like, I said, something is not right. I said, you all red. You so red. You just red. And so she was just all bent over. Oh, my stomach. She just kept on saying her stomach was hurt. So I go downstairs. But before I go downstairs, I called my sister. I said, something is wrong with Mama. First, my sister didn't answer because she was mad. I called her back again. She answered. I think I called her 3 times. I'm like, bitch, answer the phone. So then she answered the phone. And I said, something is wrong with Mama. And she was like, what you mean? And I said, I'm calling you and you're ignoring me. I said, believe me, I wouldn't be calling you just to chit chat at this particular moment. I said, but something is wrong with her. And I said, she's in excruciating pain. I don't know how. I said, she been upstairs, I've been downstairs. I said, her face is beet red like an apple. I don't understand. I don't know what's going on. I said, but you need to come over here. And so she said, okay, well, I don't know what she was doing. So, but she did come. She didn't come right away, but she did come. So by that time, I go downstairs to my father, and I said, something's wrong with Mama. He was like, what you mean? I said, something's wrong. She's upstairs. She's walking. She's all bent over. Talking about her stomach is hurting. Her face is beet red. I said, I don't know. Well, I said, so he goes up there and he looking at her. He like, Diane, what's wrong? She's like, oh, my stomach, my stomach, my stomach. She just kept on saying her stomach. By this time, she's not really even talking. She's sweating. She's red. She's up on the wall with her arm up on, you know how you have your arm up on the wall? She's just standing on the wall. So my father said, what did you all eat at the party? I said, she didn't really eat anything. I said, she just had some Kool-Aid and some fruit. And I said, that was it. I said, she didn't eat anything. So he was like, asking her questions and what she could answer. He was like, do you think you got food poisoning? Do you have to throw up? He's saying all this to her. So by this time, my sister has gotten there. So Calvin, her boyfriend at the time, he was there at the house. So they drove over. Her, Calvin. And I don't know how old Timothy was or Diana. They were little, but they were little. So she left them at home and she came with him. Because my sister didn't live far. I mean, like, you could walk to her house, okay? But it would be a good little walk without a car. So anyway, by now my sister's gotten there. My sister's like, well, maybe you need to just, maybe she throw up, she'll feel better. So my mother proceeded to try to make herself throw up, and she did. Now, I don't do good when people would throw up, so I had to leave. And so she's still in a lot of pain. So before my sister got there, I told my mother, you going to the hospital. I said, because this ain't no regular stomach pain. So my father was talking to her. She was like, I don't want to go she was saying she was going to take some medicine. When she took the medicine, she threw the medicine up. So my father was like, So, she, what the hell? This light out? Come on, if y'all coming. So, anyway, I said, Mama, you need to go to the ER. I'm okay. I said, no, you're not. I said, what are you talking about? You're okay. She's being so resistant. So I remember her sitting, she came down and she sat on the couch. And she was like, Sherelle, why does it hurt so bad? Oh my God, I'm in so much pain. And this was making me really, really emotional and nervous at this point. We take her to the hospital. I don't know why we bypassed the hospital here. We took her all the way down here on 35th and King Drive to Mercy Hospital. She went through the ER, through Mercy. And the doctor was asking her all these questions and everything. They did x-rays, took her up to x-rays. They saw that her pancreas, this is why she was so inflamed. Her pancreas was infected. She had gallstones. She had gallstones. The gallstones were affecting her pancreas. So her pancreas was inflamed from the gallstones. So it was so bad that they told her or asked her, was she an alcoholic? They said, how often do you drink? My mother doesn't drink like me. She said, I don't drink. She said, I quit smoking at this time. I don't know, it had been 5-6 years ago, whatever. She's like, I don't smoke anymore, So the doctor, they made us leave the room because I think they thought she was lying in front of us about her drinking. She said, I don't drink. I don't drink. They said, your pancreas looks like that of a person who's been drinking for a long time and an alcoholic. She said, my hands to God, I do not drink. So she went on to telling them that she was a substance abuse director of a substance abuse program. So she was telling them different things. And so I don't know, I think they believed her. So they said, well, she said, I do not drink. I do not drink. She just kept on saying that. So they told her, they sent her over to Sykes, like a clinic. So we want you to go over there. They said, and we want you to see it. So they were right across the street. So I didn't understand why they did this, but they did. They sent her over there. No. We went to urgent care first. That's what it was. We went to urgent care first. And he gave her some medicine. He said, I'm going to give you this medicine. He said, if I think it is what it is, he said, if you throw this medicine up, I'm sending you across the street to the hospital. That's what it was. I had it backwards. So we went to urgent care first because she didn't want to go through the ER. She wanted to go to urgent care. So we went to urgent care. It's on a Sunday. So we go to urgent care. He gives her the medicine. She throws it up. He said, okay, I'm sending you across the street. So he called them and said, I got a patient coming in, the age of such and such. I don't know how old she was at the time. He said, I believe she has either a ruptured appendix or she has a gallbladder. And he was just talking about, and everything he said, he was right on the money. So I had just started a new job over at the University of Chicago. I had just started. I'm just not understanding. What are you doing? You over here, you got to get on. What are you doing? So I flew past her ass. So, so I just started a new job. And I was like, oh shit, I don't know if I'll be able to take off. So we was at the hospital till like 3 in the morning. I was so tired. And I had to get up and go to work. I ended up going to work. I looked like hell. My supervisor was a bitch. I had just found out. I had knew her for years and then got a job in her department. And I was like, I cannot believe that I'm working with this bitch. So I called her. I think I either called in or I went to work or something like that. But they tried to give me a hard time. I said, my mother had an emergency on Sunday. I had to rush her to the hospital. I said, I know I just started this position, but I can't help that my mother is sick. You know, like, what the fuck? So, she says, you know, she was trying to give me kind of like giving me a hard time. But the point I'm trying to make is that my mother was scheduled to have surgery the day of when the towers hit, or the day after. And I remember being at work, sitting at my desk, and I'm calling my mom at the hospital to ask her how she doing, how she feeling. My mother was going through hell. She had been in the hospital since Sunday. And the trade happened on a Wednesday or Tuesday, something like that. And I remember being on the phone with her, and one of my doctors, the doctors that I one of the doctors walked in and was really upset. And I'm like, what is going on? But I'm on the phone with my mother. And the doctor is really, really upset. And then I see there's some other doctors that came in, and they were upset. And because we work like in this little office. And I heard them say, I just can't believe it. Did you? Oh my God. And they just were. So I'm like, finally, I said, what's wrong? And they were like, the World Trade Center in New York, a plane went through there in the Pentagon. And I'm like, I was so confused. I was like, what? And so my one doctor said, it's a terrorist attack. I'm telling y'all, I was so confused. So Chicago was like on lockdown because they thought that they were, it was gonna happen here. And so I called my mother, and my mother called me back, and she's like, did you see that? She said, I was watching TV and I saw it. And I'm like, so what? Because in my mind, I'm just not understanding. I just really was not. I was so stressed, y'all. My mother was sick. I had just started a new job. I was just so confused. I had a lot going on in my mind. And I just could not comprehend what they were saying. It just didn't make sense to me. It just didn't make sense. I really, 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 really hate that they would not fix this damn clock. Oh, some stupid shit right here. Hold on, y'all. Let me go punch in. Back there. I'll be damned. Oh, got here too late. I like to park on that end. But I got a spot, so I guess I gotta park right here. When he turned in, like he gonna park down there he like parking in that spot, and I do too. These spots up here, they are so tight. He got that big old truck. I'm gonna get here early tomorrow so I can get my spot back. So I thank God I got this spot. I ain't gonna complain. So what was I gonna say? So anyway, I was just so stressed and I was so confused about what was going on. I just couldn't comprehend it all. I went to see my mother in the hospital, and that's when my mother was all in tears, and I was like, what is going on? So we started, my sister was working downtown. My sister was working at the university too. She was like, they letting us leave early. And I said, yeah, they letting us leave early too. And they telling everybody to go home, and it was a mess. It was the worst. It was one of the worst things I think happened to our country. That and Hurricane Katrina. It was just. I mean, I know there's other bad things that have happened in the country besides that. It was horrible. It was horrible. So that's where I was. I was at work when it happened. And, that's something else. But I knew there had been some years. I didn't realize there had been 24 years. But it's like, wow. So my mother ended up having the surgery. She had to have her gallbladder removed. She hated being in the hospital. She was complaining. And she had the surgery. And everything worked out. I was back and forth at the hospital, trying to learn this new job. It was just a lot. It was a lot. And it was so sad. It was just so sad. It was something that looked like it was in some kind of science fiction movie. It was horrible. Bush was the president. They walked in to tell him. I mean, we were not prepared for that. And after that, everything changed in our lives as far as how we traveled. You couldn't get on the plane. You had to it was terrible. You used to be able to walk. You used to be able to walk somebody in and stand there, and wait for them while they went in. Not no more. So much changed. our lives changed when 9/11 happened. All those firefighters and all those people that were stuck in the World Trade Center. Whew. It was horrible. Horrible. And I'm sure they're going to have they do, every year they do some type of memorial service, remembering, the victims and stuff like that. So I'm sure they're going to do one. I'm sure they're going to have something going on today. But it was horrible. It was horrible. It was just, it was horrific. It's something that I will never in my lifetime forget. I mean, it just came in our country and just, so many people died that day. So many people died. So many. So if you remember where you were when it happened, if you were here, if you were born, Alyssa probably was, I don't know if Alyssa and Meadow are close in age. She might have been here, but she might have been just a baby. Meadow was not born when it happened. But a lot of those that were born, you know what I'm talking about. They know about it too, because I'm sure they learned about it in school. But they weren't here to experience and see it in real time like us. It was horrible. Were you all born when Hurricane Katrina happened? I can't remember what year that happened. They just did a documentary on that. That happened in New Orleans. That was another horrific. Oh God. Whew. And then just what happened recently in New Orleans, last year or 2 years ago, that man drove his car down Bourbon Street and killed people. Crazy. And of course, yesterday we had I don't know what his title was. He was a congressman or a senator. Was killed yesterday while giving a speech about gun control. Somebody shot and killed him. I think they was trying to kill the president, and they killed him. And it goes on and on. There was a shooting yesterday at a school. There was a young lady that was shot in broad daylight here in my city on Monday. It was domestic. You probably heard about that. It's trending all over TikTok. Her name was Romisa. But see, these guns, everybody wanna, oh, let people have their guns, let the people have their guns, and all of this and all of that. And it just goes on and on and on. And I heard somebody say, I think we have gotten so used to these killings and things. You know, it's like we just don't even flinch. And that's true. That's true. That's true. So, sad. Very, very sad. So if you remember, you know, since it is Throwback Thursday and we throwing it back, if you remember where you were, if you were here when 9/11 happened, write it in the comments. Let me know, where were you that day that happened? What was going on in your life? I had no children. I didn't have Chris. You know, I was still living at home with my parents. And it was terrible. It was terrible. It was a terrible, terrible time. And it's something that stuck with us for a very, very long, long time. Long time. If you have a throwback picture that you want to post today on my community page, please feel free. All you have to do is go to my actual YouTube channel page, and you will see where it says visiting community, and you can upload a picture of you or of anybody. Where is Miss TRC? Has anybody seen Miss TRC? Miss TRC, I'm calling on you. Where are you? Where are you? I have not seen her. I know people be busy. And we went live last night, and we only went live for the subscribers. And when I tell you, it was such a much calmer live. Ooh, oh my God. Oh my God. However, there were 2 subscribers that we had to block, which I was really surprised, and actually came on there and tried to say some offensive shit to me. Go back to Africa. Anyway, there were 2. There was 55 people in the chat, and out of 55 people, 2 people we got rid of. Okay? So, Meadow sent me a video of how to turn it on for subscribers only. At first, I couldn't figure it out. I had to go back and watch her video 2 times, and I figured it out. So the key is that you have to already be live, and then you hit the icon that says, can anyone see? Who is it for? If it's just for your subscribers, or if it's for the public. So, with that being said, what I plan to do, I plan to do lives with the public and lives only with the subscribers. Now, if they're not subscribed, when I go live with just my subscribers, they cannot see that live. Okay? They can't see that live. So we can talk about them all we want. But I so enjoyed, for the little time that I was on, I wasn't on that long, but for the little time that I was on with just my subscribers, I so much enjoyed that live. I did. I really, really enjoyed you all last night. And like I said, I know I wasn't on long, but just for the little time that I was on, I really enjoyed you all. I cannot and do not want to be bothered. I cannot and do not want to be bothered all the time with them other folk. I don't. It's too depressing. I don't feel like arguing with people all the time, cussing folk out. I don't want to do it. Good morning. I don't want to do it. So I much enjoy. Oh, this ain't it. I enjoy so much just being on live with you all. The people that really watch this channel, the people that really support CeCe's Fashion is my passion. I enjoyed you all immensely yesterday. So I am hoping that with that being said, with us doing it the way we're doing it, I hope that those that are subscribed, that are turned off by the live streams, I hope that they will now come back and engage. Now we can talk about some stuff, y'all, with just you all. See, it's hard to have a topic when you have 300, 400, 500 people on a live, or you got 7,000 or 12,000 people viewing the live stream. You can't have a topic because I'm constantly, it's like being in a classroom, you know, where teachers say, I can't teach because I'm too busy breaking up fights and trying to put out fires. It's the same way with being on a live stream when it's not with just the people who are subscribed and just with the people who really support and watch. You cannot have a topic of any kind when you have that many people on. You just can't do it because it's too many distractions. You can tell people to stop typing for a minute. You can ask people to stop typing so you can talk about the subject or so you can tell a story, and they'll just keep on typing. And I have said so many times, can you all stop typing so I can tell this story? Nope, they keep typing like they didn't even hear me, and they do it on purpose. I've told people to stop calling me grandma. I've told people to stop calling me auntie. I have told people to stop calling me their mama. Hey mama, all of this, and they still do it. You know, they still do it. When I've asked people to not do it. So yesterday, a subscriber did that. After I had asked him to stop, he kept doing it on just the subscriber line. We got rid of him. Then another person got off with a racist comment, go back to Africa. We got rid of him. But the difference is that we got rid of them, but it was only 2. And it wasn't 52 or 59 or 60 people, you know? So, if I say to you, like, I'm gonna give you an example. Meadow's real name is not Meadow. But if Meadow says to me, did I put that in there? Oh, I put that in that other bag. If Meadow says to me, CeCe, I don't like being called my government name. I like to be called Meadow Shrub. Why would I then continue to call him by his government name when he's clearly told me this is what he wants me to call him? See, because then you're just being very defiant, and then you just want to get on a motherfucking nerve just to irritate the fuck out of them after a person has asked you not to do something. So when you can't respect what I request, you don't need to be around me. They tell my auntie is out of respect. I know that new term called everybody auntie. I don't refer to myself as auntie. So why would you? And if I ask you to stop, stop. But people don't want to respect your boundaries. Well, this is what I want to call you, so this is what I'm going to call you. It's not about what you want. It's about what I want. I don't know why that's so hard for people. I don't know why people feel the need to disrespect you. Well, I want to call you, but it's not about you. It's about what that's not my name. I don't want to be called that. Respect me enough to honor that. I don't get it. I had a guy at my job here, not here, but another department. He would always call me by my last name. I said, could you not call me by my last name? My name is Cece. Call me Cece. Well, that's your last name. I don't give a fuck if that is my last name. I said to you, don't call me that. He kept calling me that, so I stopped answering. So he kept calling me. He kept calling me by my last name. So I stopped answering. He said, you heard me talking to you. Oh, so you're not going to answer? Oh, okay. Well, I ain't going to speak to you at all. I don't care. I still didn't say nothing. Saw me the next couple of days. What's up, Cece? What's up? You gonna do what I want you to do, not what you want to do. I had a professor at the University of Chicago. He was an asshole. His name was Constantine Fassall. So whenever I would order his books or whatever for him, he would say, if I would say his first name, oh, I'm Professor Fassall. I said, oh, okay. So then he got ready. So he called me one day. He said, Sherelle. I said, oh, no. I'm Miss Cotton. He kind of laughed. No, you want me to respect you and call you and recognize you as the professor. No, we ain't on a first name basis, homie. Call me Miss Cotton. That's the way I did him. have no problem calling you what you want to be called. But you're going to respect me and call me what I want to be called. Oh, okay. Well, I'll call you Miss Cotton. Okay. So one day I saw him. He said, it's okay if you call me Constantine. I said, oh, okay. I said, well, it's okay if you call me Sherelle. Like, motherfucker, you ain't the only one who got a title. I got one, too. I may not have a degree, but I got a title just like you do. That's how we gonna play this game. So the live was much better with just the subscribers. So I plan to go and come on live today. And I'm gonna do, I said I was gonna do just subscribers. I think I'm gonna do, no, I'm gonna do subscribers and I'm gonna do public over the weekend. That's what I said, right? I think that's what I said. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So it was much, 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 much better. So I plan to come on live around 5 o'clock or so. I might even come on live earlier when I leave work, because it'll be just with you all. And if you subscribe to my channel and you come on talking bullshit, you get booted the fuck off too. Just like we do when we open it up to the public. Same thing. Up to you. Don't come over there, talk no bullshit, because you're gonna get kicked off. It's on you. I don't tolerate disrespect of any kind. I don't tolerate it because I don't do it. And you're not going to come on my platform and you're not going to disrespect me and you're not going to disrespect the people that watch and support. You're not. Absolutely will not. So if you want to come over there talking about, hey, mama, if you want to come over there talking about go back to Africa and all of this, because I'm sure it's some trolls that are subscribed to my channel. I'm sure of that. But you will get kicked off. It's just that simple. So don't forget, post your throwback picture. I forgot to put the mascara on. Post your throwback picture. Post a throwback memory if you have one. Throwback picture, throwback memory, all of that good stuff on the community page, and then on here, write and let me know. Let me know, where were you 9/11? Like I said, it's a day I will never ever forget. And then tomorrow is Friday. We're gonna party to the break of dawn. It's Friday. The week went by really, really quick to me. I don't know if you all think the same, but to me it went by quick. Quickly. So So we will chat on tomorrow. Look for me to come live later. You all have a good, blessed day. Blessed and safe day. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your time today. Don't let nobody disturb your peace. And have a marvelous day. Okay? So I'll see you all later on this afternoon on the live. And, you know, like I said, we'll chat then. Okay? All right. Enjoy your day. Okay? Peace and blessings. And don't forget to upload those throwback pictures or write a throwback memory here. All right? Let me know where you were on 9/11. So just want to remember those that lost their lives that horrific day, because it changed all of our lives dramatically. So rest in peace to all of our heroes. All right, y'all. Have a good day. Okay, bye.